Hey everybody, I'm Sean Grant, and on behalf of the Chicago Department of Public Health, we welcome you to this important conversation to address some of the concerns within our community about the COVID-19 vaccine, as well as misinformation and more that can create concerns within our community. The Chicago Department of Public Health has been working diligently to provide the best access and information to Chicago communities about the importance of the COVID-19 vaccine, not only to protect ourselves, but to protect those around us. We are here to have an open and honest conversation with some dope Chicago voices and to share perspectives on the COVID-19 pandemic and the vaccine. One of the best places to have a real conversation is a barbershop. So tonight we are here at Nuance Social, one of the best shops, actually not one of the best, the best shop in Chicago, to make sure that we could have honest conversation and ask honest questions about the COVID-19 vaccine and gain some powerful information on how we can protect ourselves and the community. Before we start this conversation, I have some of the coolest brothers in Chicago sitting around me. So I want to make sure that we get some shine on each of them and introduce who our guests are. We're going to start with the owner of this beautiful establishment, my man Simeon Dill. He is a well-respected barber who owns this shop and looks to provide a platform to have real conversations about the topics in the Black community. This is going to be one of the ones we have tonight. Also, we have my main man right here, Dave Jeff, the creator of the legendary lifestyle brand Fly Worldwide. Clap it up for him. Dave Jeff is a cultural architect, a brand builder, and a leader, but most importantly, he's a voice for our community. On my far left, my boy, my favorite actor on NBC. Come on. Let's talk about it. My man's from Chicago PD. Southside. This is a world-renowned actor right here, LaRoyce Hawkins, who many of you may know as Royce the Voice. Yeah. And he's here to share his thoughts on in this important topic. And probably the most important man that we got up here right now. We got to get all the COVID-19 facts from my brother right here, Dr. Garth Walker, the Deputy Director at the Illinois Department of Public Health, emergency physician, and associate professor at Northwestern to inform and educate us. He got all the titles. Let's clap it up for my man. So we're going to welcome everybody here, and we're going to get right into it. So let's talk about it. Through all of our lives, we done spent plenty of times in the barbershop. For us, it's probably our mom's house, barbershop, church, little things like that. That's where we at. But every time we come to the barbershop, it's like a good place to have conversation. Exactly. What makes this such a safe space for all of us and somewhere that we're used to?
This is probably one of the last places that it's built out for guys to have an authentic experience. So it's somewhere that we feel comfortable, feel safe. It's probably the closest thing to our hygiene and our personal care. The barbershop is basically self-care for Black men. Mm-hmm. Like that's the extent of what we've been taught self-care is. So this is the place that started. We learn how to groom ourselves, and we learn how to start conversations here. So this is just a place we feel comfortable.
For sure. LaRoyce, how about you, man? Like, what makes a barbershop comfortable for you?
It's truly where a young brother can find his rite of passage. Mm-hmm. I like to believe, it's where we get introduced to the conversations that condition us, right, as men. You know what I'm saying? The good, the bad, and the ugly. And what I love about the institution of the barbershop is that no matter where you're from, every barbershop feels familiar. So I've had conversations with cats from New York, cats from DC, California, but the barbershop culture everywhere feels the same. You're going to always walk in there with the same language, ask the barber how many you got, and everybody knows what that means. You know what I'm saying? And you can walk into it and you know what it feels like when it's at home. Right. You know what I mean?
Dave, do you remember what number you took off the chart when you walked in as a shorty?
Let me get a number 8. Number 8 going with the half moon, you know what I'm saying?
No, but for you, barbershop, and being a prominent figure now, how does that hit you?
I mean, it hits me real. First of all, your barber, you trust your barber.
Right.
So because you trust your barber, you probably liable to let your head down, for lack of a better word, whatever, talk about certain things, or this is going on at the house, or this is what I'm doing, or this is what I think I'm doing, or want to do, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And hopefully your barber will give you that energy back. and it just opens up everything. Like I think it's been said before, like the barbershop is therapy.
Yeah.
This is our, you know, we feel funny sometimes talking about, man, I go to a therapist, but I have no problems talking about I go to Simeon for a freshman. You know what I'm saying? You know, whatever. But that's just me.
Yeah, Dr. Walker, how about you? What's your barbershop experiences like?
Well, I gotta thank Simeon. It's been a minute since I've been to the barbershop, and I'm just honored to be back in it. For sure. I got a 2-year-old son. I'm living vicariously through him. I can't wait to bring him to the barbershop, just so he can have that experience that I had growing up. But on a real talk perspective, from a public health perspective, we investigated this at length. Just the role that barbershops have played in being able to partner with hospitals, disseminate information. You brought up therapists. There's not many places where we can just be vulnerable, talk about the current events, talk about the things that we're all going through. And the barbershop is truly a special place just to have those hard conversations, but very real conversations. And, you know, just nerding out on like some research stuff. There's been plenty of high-level studies that's been able to show how barbers have been able to change health and advocate for people to take their medication. We've done stuff at the state where we partner with barber leaders to talk about COVID-19, get that step, and encourage people why vaccinations are important. And if you're not ready for it, what do we need to talk about? Where can we move forward from there? So it's just a special opportunity, and I'm just glad to be here for a reason, because, you know.
What was crazy for me, like, of course we all just lived through, I guess you could say, the darkest days of this pandemic. But for me, it was a struggle just being at home and not getting to the barbershop. One, because I done had my barber since I was 12. But two, I went from March to June without a haircut.
Crazy.
And I'll share this with y'all. I tried to, like, you know, help myself out a little bit. I cut a little small patch on top of my head, and I'm like, I ain't gonna mess with that no more. But it's different for you. Like, as an entrepreneur, this is your livelihood.
Yeah.
What was it like for that to be shut down during that time?
It was really tough. The funny thing about business, I'm actually learning how to be an entrepreneur as I go. So learning to be prepared, learning to save and invest and put yourself in a position where dark days don't last always. It was a teacher for me. So from a business standpoint, I had to shut down in order for me to be responsible as a business owner or even a leader for the people who work with me and under me, however you want to chop it up. It was important for me to be an example of us taking our health seriously. You know what I'm saying? As barbers, we're usually, in the Black community, the first entrepreneur, the first business I knew was a barbershop, a shop owner. And usually we trust those people when we have conversation. This is, like I said earlier, these are extensions to our hygiene. Hygiene is probably one of the most personal, intimate things to you. Like, so taking care of you is important. And this person is, you know, the next person important to making sure you're good, how you feel, how you look. So me being here, I wanted to set an example. So shutting down was tough, not being able to make money. It was tough trying to explain to proprietors who work under me that it would be smarter to, you know, avoid risk. That was just tough. Because the thing about a pandemic is, like, we all trying to figure it out all at the same time. Nobody has the answer.
Right. It's new. It's a hard moving
process. Like they say the barbershop is a recession-proof, you know, business because it's always going to be somebody who needs a haircut. Yeah. But we are not, you know, pandemic-proof. Yeah. And I learned that during the pandemic. So it was tough, but I learned a lot about myself, about the strength of this this place, the culture of the barbershop. I understood how important it is for the community, how important it is for me to get different energy. You know what I'm saying? Some things that we may have taken for granted, I appreciate much more on this side of COVID.